Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy. I'm gonna do a probably negative space swipe on this 12-inch round using the new PrizmPour colors that I'm finally getting a chance to play with. It's been a pretty busy week. So I'm gonna lay down my pillow paint and I'm gonna show you the colors as I go just to save time. If you missed the mixing video, it's a few videos back. There's a 20% off discount code in the description box below. Pooh, I do not have a stir stick in here. Well, I'm gonna use this one that already has junk on it. So I'm using the Bloom recipe if you're kind of new here. I do have a discount code for the Sheleeart class in the discount or the description box as well. I also have a mixing video showing typically what I use, so it changes, but it's kind of a good guide. So I'm going to use some regular acrylic paints and some of the PrizmPour colors. I'm using way too many of the PrizmPour colors. I always use too many colors, but like they're so pretty it's hard not to. So triple sec, so gorgeous. It's like a fluorescent yellow. It's great. Love it so much. I had to find a way to use it. Where did I put the bottle? And these are PrizmPour from Colourarte. So these are acrylic paints. They're not ready to pour. This is what the bottle looks like. So this next one is Indigo Violet. And they come in the 2 ounce and the 8 ounce. Indigo Violet, I mean, come on. Now right now, if you get this, the 2 ounce set, the two of the, sorry, my brain's a little fried. The two 2 ounce sets, so that's 12 colors total. Through September 6th, you get Ginger Snap for free. So that's currently still a thing. This is Sparkling Aqua. I like all things aqua, so of course I'm gonna love that. It has like a violet shift to it. Who doesn't think that's amazing? And this one is called Wild Orchid. You can see why I couldn't just pick like 2 or 3, right? So these are mixed with Jo Sonja Gloss Varnish. Because I'm not using them as like a huge puddle, I didn't even add any of my untinted house paint because they're already kind of mixed in an untinted base. So this is Agave Blue. This color looks way more basic blue on camera. But in person, it's really quite amazing. Just for your own benefit, blues and greens and teals are kind of hard to get right on camera. I think I need to thin this one down just a smidge. So when I'm just going to use it as like an accent color and not a main puddle, mixing it with just Jo Sonja seems to work fine, just for consistency's sake. I don't thin it out too much. This is kind of what the consistency, what the consistency looks like. For my regular paint colors, I'm probably going to use a little bit of blue black from Atelier, maybe some red violet from Matisse, maybe some golden cobalt teal. Might use some boom gels. Honestly, not sure. I always just include a little bit of a matte color variety in there. So sometimes I could just pick one color and that might be better, but sometimes I don't do that. So I have a problem. Picking too many colors is one of my problems. The other thing is when you're thinking about recipes, or excuse me, picking colors for blooms, you also have to think about what color cell activator you're going to use. And I'm probably going to use a black one. So if I only use blue black and then I use a black cell activator without having anything brighter or lighter toward the top, could make things too dark. So that's just some of the method to my madness. Sometimes I'm too analytical for my own good too, and I overthink things. And I've been working on some geodes, and I started off with 2 like kind of super strange ones, not typical normal. And so I worked maybe way harder than I needed to. So I'll show you those experiments. I still need to voice over them and do a close-up. But I started a 16-inch one the other day. So some of the videos that I've been releasing lately were actually recorded quite some time ago, because I've been spending a lot of time trying to work through that. So let me get some gloves real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm just going to talk through this. I'm really trying not to make this too long of a video, but I haven't had hardly any time to do this kind of stuff, and so I'm not going to have a ton of time to go back and voice over and edit and all that stuff. So it kind of is what it is. So I am a person that I enjoy listening to people's process. I realize that's not everyone. And, you know, you guys are so kind about that and sharing that you don't mind an occasional longer video. And I appreciate that. I realize that's not everybody's cup of tea. You know, we're in the TikTok era where everything's like a minute long. But I like to hear artists kind of talk through their thoughts, what they worked through, what didn't work out, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. I'm going to put a little Willie Wagtail black down. This is a Boom Gel. Boom Gel is like an acrylic paint that is like kind of the perfect consistency for blooms, just right out of the jar. And it doesn't tend to overly mix with other colors like a lot of acrylic paints do. I get mine from Pixel Paint Designs, which is here in the United States. That's also where I get my Australian Floetrol, which is what my cell activator is mixed with. There's a goopy there. And I've shopped around in the past, and she has a great price. Ships from the United States. Fast shipping. You can get Boom Gel. She has lots of stuff. She has Pebeo paints on the website, global paint. So like there's a lot of cool stuff. You can get 10% off with Mandy 10. Discount is below. So I do get a lot of questions about, you know, Australian Floetrol. There's a lot of artists that make American Floetrol work, and kudos to them. That's just, Australian Floetrol works great for me. I don't have time to do all the magic things that people do to make the other one work. Blue Black from Atelier, one of my favorite acrylic paint colors. So if you are looking for Aussie Floetrol, just know that it does sell out a lot. That's true of anybody who carries it. She restocks often, so don't forget to check it out. And the link for the new PrizmPour sets is also going to be in the description box. So if you don't want to figure it out on your own, I will link it for you. Okay, now what order do I want to put this in? I'm going to do, I don't know. I don't know that it really even matters. I think I'm going to put the blue agave down. These colors are really amazing. I don't know how Leslie seems to blow all of our minds every time, but she does. And then I'm going to put down Triple Sec. This color is awesome. I'm so excited because I have wanted some fluorescent colors in the Colourarte world. And there's also a Miami Magenta, which is like a fluoro magenta, which Golden's Fluoro Magenta is one of my favorite colors. I may not use it often enough, but so you can tell. Oh, come on, in my negative space, you little turd. You may not stay very negative. Unfortunately, I just added the Jo Sonja to them. So we're gonna have some bubbles, but not quite as bad as if I had mixed them with untinted house paint. So now we're going to use the wild Orchid. I gotta get these in my head. My brain's pretty fried this week. Oh, and I thought about adding some Midas Touch to this because I have 2 different tubs of it mixed up. But I think I already have too many irons in the fire. Y'all were probably like, chill with all the colors. Okay. Now we're gonna do Indigo Violet. This color is spectacular. Honestly, they all are. I had already seen the colors, but I hadn't had time to play with them, so I was watching Tammy Anderson yesterday, and she did a really beautiful swipe, and I wanted to use triple sec. So when she used it in the swipe, I was like, yes. Okay, and then Sparkling Aqua. This is too much paint, but that's okay. And here's the other kicker. All my cell activators have been mixed up a while, so I'm a little apprehensive about, they'll probably perform fine in a swipe. My preferred, if I was going to use just a black cell activator, would be to use M Gram as my paint. I don't have that one mixed up, and again, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to use what I have. But I also toyed with the fact, I thought about using the Anthraquinone blue instead of black, but I don't know if we'll have enough of a contrast. So I brought them both over here. I even thought about using them together, but okay. So I need an acrylic paint on the top. I think I'm going to use a little more blue black. I realize that it's dark, and I'm talking about using a black cell activator, so a little bit more of this, and I may put some Cobalt Teal. I thought about Red Violet, but I think Red Violet might overshadow this a little bit. My dog is leaving the room in case you hear his toes. Okay, so that's blue black. Golden Cobalt Teal is one of my favorite colors. I used to wonder, what is the difference between teal and Cobalt Teal? And Cobalt Teal, in my opinion, is better. It's more expensive, of course. I have good taste, but I just like the shade much better. And it is nice with these colors, so good choice, Mandy. Okay, and then I'm going to use, I need to see how wide I just keep going. I have both of my palette knives over here. Depends on this or this. If I do this one, it might be all right. So I'm going to put the cell activator on the palette knife. You guys, these colors are incredible. Okay. So I think I am going to use black. I don't even know if I have enough. I feel very unprepared. Yeah, I don't know that I have enough to separate that. Give me just a second. Okay, I brought my Atelier black. It's thicker, so it's not going to perform the same. So I'm torn between whether or not I should just use that or if I should mix them, which I'm not sure if that's a good plan or not. So what I do know is I don't think, let's see, this is the Amsterdam. And this is lamp black. I like lamp black more than oxide black. Oxide black works fine. It's just more soft. I like the boldness of carbon black or lamp black, personally. I think I might be able to pull this off. This is pretty thick. Probably should have flow-trawled it up a little bit. So, what's hard about swipes, especially if you're heavy-handed, is not having too heavy of a hand, not having too light of a hand. So it's really hard not to, especially I haven't done one in a minute. It's hard not to be too heavy-handed, and it's also kind of hard to, you need just enough pressure to kind of glide it across your paint, not to dig into it. And I am by nature kind of heavy-handed, and I have many snafus because of it. So I sometimes start off really light, and then I realize I'm not making any progress with this. I'm gonna have to cruise along a little faster, and it affects the composition sometimes. So but man, these colors are like magic sauce, you guys. Okay, so let me try to get this other side with what's left, and then we'll clean that up a little. Don't worry, we're not going to leave it like that. Hopefully we'll just make it better. And now I can make Graham cell activator, which is my favorite. No offense, Amsterdam. Okay, now you can see that I did get into my pillow a little bit, but it's okay, it kind of worked. This part doesn't, but I'm pretty sure that's going to spin off, so we're not going to be too worried about him. All right, I need to get down at this level a little bit, and I kind of wish I had just gone straight across the first time. It's going to be ugly if it comes through the wrong way. Okay. Let's see. It's going to look like Batman when I can when I can see that I am going the wrong direction. Sometimes I overcorrect and then I get the bat signal. It's all right. But I do enjoy the drama of a black cell activator. I really love blue black, and I almost did that. But I kind of wanted the little cells that you sometimes get with the thinner cell activator. So I'll clean my palette knife while that develops a little bit, and we'll find out what we need to do. That white streak in the middle is weird, but it also kind of works. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm very busy right now. I just started school again on Monday. Work is very busy, so I am still doing art, but I obviously have to prioritize, and I also am trying to finish up some pieces I have for customers. I have some stuff that's resin that I just need to get the drips done and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So the cool thing about trying to mess with geodes and stuff is you already have your resin all mixed up. So some of the stuff that you need to get done, you know, gets done a little bit more timely. Sometimes it's just having the space to dry things and all that stuff. Okay, so this guy is finished. I have way too much stuff out over here. I need to move these paints out of the way. All right, so here we are. Let's tweak it. So I'm taking my stir stick and I'm taking the thin part, and where we have some weird wispy lines, I'm gonna run through those, make them look like we want them that way. Sometimes it's a waste of time because some of it's going to end up all the way to the edge. But sometimes you just, I personally think you don't want to rush this part of the process because you're going to have things that you need to pop, bubbles and that kind of junk while you're here, and you can rush, miss them, and then they'll pop later and make a huge flippin' mess. So sometimes when you're just at the right angle, you can see them, get a hold of them while the rest is developing. Okay, so this is kind of weird what I did here. I don't so much mind this part, but let's see. Let's go this way first. And I don't really know that that was a good plan, but it's at the edge. This is kind of strange. And this is just gonna get a little bit bigger. My hope is if it's gonna be like this, that it's gonna go to the edge, but there's really no guarantee of that. So it looks funky. And I don't think if I go through it, like if I were to draw a line through it, I feel like that would just kind of make it worse. But if I did something like this, it would really only be on this side. Yeah, I don't like it. I wasn't committed in case y'all didn't catch that. Okay. I don't know. I don't know about that. But I'm not going to obsess too much about that because I tend to obsess about the parts that are probably not as noticeable to someone who's not sitting here doing it. So let's just make sure all the major stuff is popped. We'll spin. I'm tempted to keep messing with the composition, but it's already kind of Batman signal. I don't want to overemphasize that. I love the way the triple sec pops through, like, hey, I'm here and I am bright. Okay, so let's gently spin, just gently. For one, I don't have this paint covered, so gotta chill. But I kind of want to see where it goes. Ooh, this is folding over on itself right here. Let me see. I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know if I can get that to the edge without it getting worse. So what you can't see on camera is right here. It's like the paint started to dry a little bit. So where I normally have too much paint, it tried to fold over on itself, but I think it's okay. I think it's all right. There's some sort of globby in this paint right here, which is gross. Let me see. Some of my cells are a little unstable, so that has me concerned about how this is going to dry. Sometimes if your mix is too glossy, it kind of wiggles as it dries, and that's what I do not want to happen here. So I'm always careful, especially with PrizmPour paints, because they're so glossy on their own. I'm always careful about not making them too glossy with too much Jo Sonja. And since I used so many of them, they're a very high gloss, high shine paint. They're gorgeous. So my mix was too thin. That could be, or it could just be the way I swiped it. Like you might see some of the squigglies here. I did swipe over some cells that were already there, so that could be part of what we're experiencing. You might hear my dogs, sorry. let's see. The colors are really beautiful. Okay, let's give it one more spin. I need to cover this part, so we need to get that covered. My dog's chewing her bone. Sorry about that. She likes to do that. It's okay, just let her chew it. Sorry guys, my dogs are very noisy at inappropriate times. Okay. Let me pop some bubbles and I'll be right back. Try to get this globby from right here. Oh my gosh. Okay everyone, so I'm going to bring you down for a close-up, but let me try to spin it just one more time. I love the colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm not crazy about the composition. You guys have to let me know what you think. I think the way I swiped it is what's messing with me. Like I love some of the detail here. The middle is a little bit too messy for me. There's like the cells are kind of wonky. I really like the tight little cells. So I may go again and just kind of swipe straight across and then embellish that. I think for me it was probably how I swiped it. Either that or my paints might be a little too thin. I'm also really not crazy about this part, and there's not much I could do to make it better at this point that wouldn't potentially make it worse. Like I could wreck it right here, but I think I've spun too much at this point. So I feel like that would just make it look weird. So, yeah, I feel like it's just gonna, it already kind of looks like the bat signal, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm very nervous that this is gonna dry wobbly. But at this point, we just gotta work with what we have. So, but the colors are great. I feel like maybe I used too many dark colors, so we're not maybe seeing everything pop like maybe it would if I had used a white cell activator or used a brighter acrylic paint. So I did get a little bit more of this to the edge. I don't want to keep spinning too much because, you know, if you overstretch paint, you start to get flocculation and stuff. And unfortunately, the part that's spinning off is the side that I like, not the side that I don't like so much. So I think that it is still pretty. It is just not quite what I was going for, but you know, that's fluid art for you. But at least you guys got to see the colors. So you have to let me know what you think. Sometimes I'm too close to it and I might be scrutinizing it a little too much. So I did off camera try to clean this up a little bit. I don't mind this part. Like I kind of like the ghost cells that you get when your cell activator gets in the pillow by itself. I think it's this part that really messes with me. It's just a lot right there. So let me bring it down for a close-up. I don't think I'm gonna try to mess with it anymore. Just don't be surprised if you see those colors in another video done a little bit differently. There's a lot about it that I like. But yeah, I feel like we can do them better justice than that. So everybody, let me bring you down for a close-up. It's interesting. The colors are amazing. I don't like the cell structure. You see how wonky it is? I don't like that. And that is probably either a result of my swiping or my paint might be too thin. But the colors are amazing. So you have to let me know what you think. Would you scrape it, pour over it, whatever? I can tell you, for me, the middle being that messy, there's probably no way I would resin that. But I realize I'm more picky because I'm the one that did it. Like this is what I like right here. That kind of solid, tight knit, that's what I like. So, but the colors are amazing. When I tell you they're amazing, like, wow. So you have to let me know what you think. You may see another video in the future with similar colors. I don't know if this one's gonna make it. Like, call Batman, you know, pretend that that's the bat signal. It's a very colorful one. But anyway, thank you for watching. And let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.